Welcome.
Here we pour whiskey.
Welcome to Mundo Madness Monday, guys. How y'all doing? Welcome on this great Monday night. Cindy, hello there, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a great evening. Hope you're having a great Monday. I am ready for tonight's show. Of course, actually, I was never really prepared, but don't tell anybody my secret, okay? I mean, I don't even have R2 next to me, so I'm gonna have to grab R2 here for a second. So, got to reach, and here's R2. He's gonna be excited. You excited? Yep. Oh, really? Oh, no. Watch your language. Watch your language. Yep, you know R2. He's always cussing that stuff. Titan! What's up, Titan? Titan in the house. Cinzy in the house. Cheers, guys. Today I'm got a little bit of Johnny Walker Red label here with a little bit of Pepsi Zero. Hey, I know, right? They cancel each other out, don't they? So, cheers, guys. Here's y'all. I got to start a good show with a good drink, right? Good show with a good drink, guys. All right, so we're gonna have Saber Woes Part 3 tonight. The Collector's Outpost. Hey, what's up? What's happening? Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for coming. Yo, Titan Skull. Hey, that was back in my day, man. Back in my 20s, bro. That was back in my 20s. Yeah, good times though. Good times. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. All right. So I want to know: have you guys in your builds, after your builds, Felicia, sup, Felicia, in your builds, after you have finished the builds, has there been the saber woes where everything is going great and you just can't after the build and things are going good and then something happens where you're like oh shit, what happened, like right in the middle of something, right? Or you're in the middle of showing it off, you're in the middle of showing it off, and and then something happens where either a wire comes loose, or maybe your battery is dead, or even maybe, well, who knows? Maybe, let's say, maybe even your chassis breaks in the middle of it, And like poor Gabe, Gabe, we had a couple of shows where Gabe, was showing off, and he had some problems with his chassis, and some wires and stuff, and even some of the programming for his Saber. And but it was a hell of a good time though, coming on and checking things out, and working with him and Dave, and trying to get everything, taken care of. But at the same time, when you got people that like even in the middle of cons, hey Rudy, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming on, bro. My neighbors, man. Like I said, I got some badass neighbors, dude. So check out my new little space here, guys. I'm really working on it, and it's starting to come together a little bit, as you can see right here in all of this stuff right here, right? Even though I got the light bulb up here, I'm going to later on, I may take the light bulb out and I'm going to run some LEDs through here so that we can, so that I can have the different colors on the Saber and stuff like that. So things are kind of coming together, with this space. And eventually I'm going to push the table out a little bit further so you can kind of get the whole spectrum of everything here, guys, So I'll give you just a little, I don't know if I can get everything in here, but just to give you a little bit of preview, and just kind of getting things together right now. So Yeah, that's where I got all my stuff for the saber building stuff is right in there. So it's a little messy, but it's coming together. And I just finished putting a surround sound system up there too. So um, you can't see, but they're um, they're all here. I've got speakers like on this side, and then on the other side over here, you just can't see them because this is in the way of all of the speakers right there. But and then of course, you know, you got to have Yoda, right? I've got Yoda right there. Darth Vader's inside. Got to have Darth Vader's inside. I don't want him coming out here. He's not as strong as Yoda is, right? So let's get back to yeah, the Yoda Easter egg, man. So if anybody noticed that, like Rudy did, what does that tell you, right? Because in the movies we all get to see Easter eggs and stuff, right? In the movies and stuff. And Marina, hey Mundo, what you drinking? Cheers, cheers, Marina. Oh, a little bit of Johnny Walker Red, lady. Yeah. Felicia says, I was showing some people the saber we won, and I hadn't learned how to work everything on it yet, so that was funny. Yeah, see, that can be a saber wove right there. That's awesome. TK, what up, TK? TK in the house. Um, yeah, so Felicia, that's another saber wove right there. So if you don't learn the things on your saber completely and you're trying to show it off, it gets kind of embarrassing sometimes, right? Because you want to show a lot of the a lot of people what you have on there, and and then you're like yeah hold on just a minute, like you're like, oh shit, oh, I'm sorry, I should have learned all of this before I even, you know, showed it to you. And it so oh, and it, you know, and then especially if you have even some fonts that go on your Saber and they just don't work like they were like a couple of days ago, like maybe something changed, like maybe you put a you updated something in in your Saber, and it takes away from, you know, your fonts or whatever have you will, and maybe you have to reprogram the you know, the saber itself to get back to where you were, right? So there's a lot of funny situations too, and I've run across a few of those situations myself, especially like when I first started out with the memory saver. Oh man, did I have a lot of woes, you know. I was like, hey, no, check this out, check this out, and then it didn't work, you know. And I'm all like, why? Well, you know, I'll give you one of the situations that I had was because um, when I had finished it one time, there was a little tiny, and I mean almost microscopic wire just shortened everything out because it came out of the you know, the casing stuff, and I couldn't figure out why it kept starting and stopping and stopping and starting, and it was just shorting out, and I couldn't understand what it was doing. And so I had to go back in there and rewire the whole damn thing, and I that's when I found that little tiny wire that actually was touching, you know, the hilt, the metal part of the hilt itself. And it was like, oh. And once I did that, then man, it started working like freaking awesome, right? And now I find that you know, my memory saber, even though it has my friend's voice on it and everything, it's actually starting to turn up as an 80s type memory saver. Remember in the 80s, because you know, I got some like Conan, not Conan, but was it Thundar the Barbarian on there, and then you got Highlander, and oh my gosh, uh, you know, and there's just some other stuff that I think is gonna be like nostalgic stuff on there eventually. So there's gonna be a lot of nostalgic stuff with this memory saber, even though it has my friend's voice on it. But we grew up in the 80s, so you know, we grew up in the 80s, man. And for those of you who grew up in the 80s, you know, watching those kind of cartoons and stuff like that, it'll be great. But going back to the saber woes, let's get back with the topic on hand, right? Now, how many of you have actually had maybe going through a con or just transporting or something, and you find that your chassis actually broke? That would be in itself a saber woe because the chassis breaking is like, oh crap. And then it takes what, days to get a new chassis and then having to rewire it. And it's like, whoa. Cheers, guys. So yeah, that would be a big whoa. You're in the middle of, having something and your chassis just breaks right in the middle of either maybe even you just wiring stuff and the chassis just breaks. Now, also, how many of you have actually gone back to like the old school chassis, with the metal rods and so forth and everything like that, and actually put that in the Saber? And I believe Rob Petkow still shows some of those type of chassis in in his videos that he's well, it's the same video, but it's been up for a very long time on making a chassis for your Saber, which is pretty great content because if you're just starting out, then you watch that and you can really get an idea of what it takes to do some things to make the chassis and utilize your creative thinking processes to come up with some really cool stuff. I mean, especially like um Dave, uh, Jedi Arms Dealer, he came up with some fantastic stuff, especially with the acrylic chassis and stuff like that. Oh man, unbelievable. Uh, but at the same time, some of those chassis pieces, can get stuck, or maybe that you have to take a long time to sand them down just to get them right. So that could be a saber woe in itself. It's just a crosshair that can ruin a chip or motherboard. Yeah, TK. Yeah, yeah, just even that little tiny piece of something, right, can even fry your board. Titan goes, I think brass rods are great for the look and strength of the chassis. Yes, absolutely, I agree with you, Titan. Yeah, that the chassis, you know, is the rib cage of your saber. I believe, I mean, you've got the guts, which is the, with the sound card, the soundboard. Then you've got the ribs, which is, your chassis basically, and then you've got your bodies, which is basically the saber hilt itself. So, you know, um, if you want to think of it in terms of, you know, of a body itself, yeah, that's you, you're looking at that kind of anatomy, right? And but it works well together, right? It works really well together. But when any of those things don't come together, let's say, so another saber woe is like you order parts. You're ordering parts and those parts don't fit, or they don't come as what you are imagining, and you have to kind of rethink your whole scenario. You have to rethink your whole structure for that saber, over again. And that can be kind of bothersome because if you had a vision and your vision was one way and it went totally different way, sometimes you have, a happy accident and things work out. But there's a lot of cases where, a lot of people do not get that happy accident. Have a subvergence from ignition sabers, and it has four long brass rods, and they look fantastic. Oh, awesome, Titan, dude! Like you gotta show that sometime, man. Or do you have a video out on it or something? Man, I'd love to see it though. TK says, especially when you're working this thing around. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, like, here, like mine, right? And of course, finally got it all finished and it looks great, right? But, the things that's not finished is I'm still putting some of the still putting some sound fonts on here, and I was playing around. I think right now I've got that uh Thunder the Thunder sound font right on here right now. I believe it's from One Sith. I believe it is. Yeah, One Sith is where I got it from on saberfont.com, and I've been playing with that, and also the Celtic Jedi from Jedi FX on saberfont.com as well. Those two I've been playing around. Man, I've been a big ass baby playing with those things later. And yeah, I'll turn the Saber on after a while so you can see have some of that sound fonts on it and hear what they sound like, because I think they've been pretty good. No, it needs to be installed, etched, and weathered. I want solo sabers to do it. Oh yeah, dude. Jeremy Jeremy is a magician with his stuff, man. Oh gosh. Jeremy, yeah. You won't even, dude, you won't be disappointed, man. Jeremy is so cool. I mean, he's badass, dude. And some of the chassis that he's been coming up, the chassis that he's been coming out with, they're fantastic. So, with him and Benji and Albert, all from Smuggler's Outpost. I mean, geez, the stuff that they come out is just fantastic. Um, Unbelievable, man, unbelievable. And these guys are great too. I mean, you talk to these guys, and eventually, one of my shows is going to actually be with all three of the guys on, and hopefully that'll be a great show for everybody to enjoy, because I want to showcase some of their chassis or their chassis work, and we can really have some fun on doing that, and I think people will have a good time with these guys coming on. I know I definitely will. So I definitely would have a lot of enjoyment having them on, and these guys are such characters too, man. So so Albert and Benji and Jeremy, if you guys are listening tonight, man, thank you guys for everything that you all do. Smugglers Outpost, thank you for everything you guys do. um, you know, people noticing, people, enjoy your work. They appreciate what you do. I, for one, especially appreciate what you do. And Albert has helped me quite a few times on things that I needed. And he's actually the one that came up with the chassis that that belongs in here. Oops, sorry. When I had been reaching out to a lot of people I have been reaching out to a lot of people to try to get something that small of a chassis for the board, and it took me a good year and a half before Albert actually came around and printed it for me. And I can't thank him enough for that chassis, that it is just fantastic. I mean, fits perfectly for the CFX, and that, and it's so let me go back to Saber Woe, which was my Saber Woe of trying to find that chassis for my Saber because of that small area. It was very hard to find somebody to print it out, and or even just get measurements and so forth, because I didn't have a way to have them get certain measurements, and I was actually able to get them to Albert, and then he took care of business, man. I mean, he went to town on it, so that was really cool. But that was one of my biggest Saber woes, was actually finding a chassis for the Saber, and then actually getting the I think I wasted that's enough, I guess. Money is one of your Saber woes as well, I think, because when you spend a certain amount of money, you want a certain way of things in the hilt. You want a certain way in the chassis. You want certain, you want stuff for your the money that you spend. You really want your money's worth. But then you have these people that go and they buy crap. And I actually feel sorry for them because again, a saber woe is that if you don't do your research on good sabers versus bad saber companies or saber parts, that you don't do you working on your designs and stuff, but you don't do what's fit with what. And here you are, you're ordering parts, but then you get parts that don't fit together, and then where you at? You're stuck with these parts, but you can't finish nothing. So there in itself is a big saber woe, right? A big saber woe that you have these all extra parts, but nothing goes together. Then eventually, maybe down the road, you get something different, something new, and you get different parts here and there, and then maybe you can fit them together if you don't have to modify anything, right? So that's a excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. So that there is one way to kind of prevent a saber woe is from make sure your parts fit together. The custom saber shop has that wonderful area where you can go and utilize what they have to uh shop parts and see what parts fit together and everything. I think the 3D, think it's the 3D enabler deal. Shit, I forgot what it's called. my brain's going, my brain's going 100 miles an hour again. As you all can see, my brain's going faster than my damn mouth. So I got to slow my brain down, and otherwise I'm just gonna be beep, 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 rambling, right? And then I'm gonna lose people because I'm just beep, 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 beep. No, no, not good, not good. Cheers, guys. I'm gonna take a drink. How about you guys? You taking a drink with me, guys? Titan, TK, come on, guys. Damn. Rudy, come on. So, I can guarantee you, Rudy's probably gonna come over here and get some Johnny Walker later, right? uh, dang, that's so good, man. Excuse me, I gotta take another one. Pepsi and Johnny Walker, man. Woo, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so how many? Like I said, come on, I can, TK, I feel you. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's see here. Um. Oops, oops, oops. My bad. Hold on here, guys. Eee. I'm almost gonna lose some of you guys over here for trying to do some stuff. My goodness. Let me see. No, no, no. All right. So, dang it. I was trying to make it bigger, but it's not working out here. Let me see. All right. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and I was trying to make the screen bigger here on my phone, but it's not letting me, so that's okay. Um, so tell me, guys, actually, what has been one of your pain in the ass moments as far as the chassis goes within your saber? Has it? I mean, have you had any saber woes? Not so much saber woes, or if like in between, like maybe you've had some good chassis and then you got some like really crummy chassis, or let's say you started building some and then of course I'm pretty sure that some of y'all maybe had some that you 3D printed out and you 3D printed out, but it didn't quite work right, right? It for some reason maybe you were like a millimeter off or 2 millimeters off, and then you had to reprint the damn thing. So there could be another saber wheel right there, right? So when you're printing and you have to be down to that millimeter in order for it to fit, and it doesn't fit your saber, then and it's like shit. You just wasted like what 3 or 4 hours of printing, and then you got to reprint another one because it didn't you had to adjust that. But then again, maybe I could be wrong, and then it takes like you're doing certain amount of chassis with a certain different millimeters, so you go one higher millimeter and then so forth, so that way, if one is bad, then you go to the next size up, and it either works or not. And then if that one doesn't work, then you go the next size up, or down, whichever have you will, and then you get all these different sizes, and then you see which one really fits the most, right? So if you fit one and you know exactly where you're at, then you can eliminate the rest, right? But that takes a lot of time. So I think time is another saber woe that we really haven't gotten to that kind of I guess that discussion of time for a saber bow, the time that it takes to print a chassis, the time it takes to put your wires through stuff, the time it takes to wire up your LEDs if you have an LED hilt, the time that it takes to let's say you've got some buttons there and you wire up your buttons, but the hole may not be big enough. So or you modify it. So the time that it takes to modify it, right, could be a saber woe in itself. Time is such a big factor because you have everybody that has a regular normal job on top of the love for the hilts. And the time that it takes to build these hilts it's a labor of love, right? It's a passion that we all have. It's a passion that we carry with great love for these adult toys for Star Wars lovers. I mean, this is for us. It's the creme de la creme, right, of Star Wars. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Is the saber, but and everything about it. Um, and so it's a great hobby, but it involves a lot of time, and so you have to balance. There's that balance right there that like the Jedi have to do, between the good and the evil and everything. And you have to balance everything. And when you balance it, you got your family life, you got your work life, you got saber life, your saber time, especially if you're an installer or maybe installer, you know, when you become an installer, if you become an installer, then the time that it takes to make certain things, and then you have to produce a certain amount of chassis, a certain amount of hilts, and a certain amount of products out. So I think some of these saber woes is time and deadlines. You want to run your deadlines and get to the project to people as fast as you can, or at least on time. But that's not always the case either, right? Sometimes something shit happens and you got to start over on maybe let's say a blade. You're working on a blade and like Space Windu. He's working on three or four blades at a time, and then he's got the tri-star, the dual star, the quad star, and now the five pentastar. He's working on several blades at a time, and then having to take the time to which by the way, they are the brightest blades on the planet, man, in my opinion. So uh Anthony does some wonderful work there, with at Civilized Saber. So, here we are. I can't say enough about him, man. I mean, shoot, I almost got blinded myself by one. So um the the amount of time that it takes to make any part of the yes, Felicia, I like the power font too. I just watched it like right before I came on. It was great. It sounded great. As a matter of fact, Felicia, I've been going through a lot of fonts on YouTube lately. I mean, searching for fonts that I actually want to put on, but I still like that, like the one that Gabe has, the Vendari. I got to get that font on my memory saver. But that one, but if I don't put that Vendari on my memory saber, I've got to put it for this saber right here, which is my father's memory saber. So, yeah, Titan. Let's see. It pains me when just a speaker blows in a and that happens a lot, doesn't it, Titan? Like a speaker will go up. What? Okay, so what is the lifespan of a speaker in in a Saber because you know I I haven't really because I just starting out, right? So with me just starting out with my first Saber, in terms of the NeoPixel and speakers, and however many people have made so many NeoPixels, right? I wonder how many speakers have people blown in their lightsabers where they have to replace a lot of speakers, right? I mean, yeah, I think they really push it though. They really push it when it comes to, I guess, trying to get as loud as you can for the sabers. TK says, can't find my Star Killer, and the ones I do look like shit 4 years ago. I kind of think the handle was probably plastic and want mine in steel and copper. Yes. Eventually, TK, I will get a Star Killer. That would be freaking awesome to get one of those 1 year. And I'm saving up for one. I'm saving up for one. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool to get a Star Killer. I love the design of it, you know, and I think it would be a great addition right next to uh eventually when I get, a Graflex. I think that would be a great addition to have those two together, the Graflex and the Star Killer together on the same mount, So um here uh the 3D holder right here that Cindy, sent me, like freaking badass, man, holds three sabers. So I think that eventually, either if I don't utilize this one for those sabers, I've just got, and then I don't know if you can see this one right here. That's another one that since he printed out right here, this is another badass one. Yeah, he sent me three, and they're just all fantastic, man. I love them so much. They're going to be utilized in every. I mean, they are going to be filled up completely. So, Cincy, man, thank you so much, love, dude. Thank you, man. Much love, much love. Let's see here. Let me kind of come down here just a tad bit, but yeah, dude. So there you go, right there. So I got a little Meg Tooth sticker right there. So Meg, if you're watching later, man, I sent you a pic, but I got your little sticker right there. Got your little sticker there, bro. Oh man. So, okay, I'm gonna pick you guys up. Pick you guys up. And so you know it, I guess another saber, going back to the topic at hand, another saber woe is you want all these type of savers, and it just can't come quick enough, right? I mean, either you got to save up for them, or maybe you missed a run. That can be another saber woe in itself. You miss a run of a saber that you really wanted, and it's just like you didn't even know it. I mean, it happened that much, right? It happened that quick, and you run out of time for that saber woe, that saber. So it's like, oh man. Yeah, man. No, Cincy, dude, like I said, much love, man. I really love the hell out of him, dude. You did such an awesome job. So, since he does some fantastic work, with those saber holders, just awesome, awesome, awesome work, man. I really enjoy them, and they look great up here, man. They really look great. So they're gonna look even better though when I put the strips, LED strips up here to really have the different colors of lighting and stuff like that. Oh man, I think it's gonna kill it. It's just gonna kill everything. Like it's just bad. It's just gonna look sick, dude. It looks sick. Looks sick. So that's another saber woe. People come in and they look for these runs, and they get these run. They know exactly when the run's gonna be, and they got their money. They've got their time to sit there and wait for it to open, and something happens, gets their attention, and boom, everything is sold out before they can even press that button, right? And then it's like, ah, shit, what do, right? What do? You miss it, like, oh no, dude, them light ups are fat. Yeah, TK, they are, they're cool, man. But see, like I said, that light up there, right there, is just a plain Jane light, and it looks cool, man. But when I get that LED strips up in there, ooh, I think that's gonna be look badass. Let's see, Felicia, what is the hardest part for you, the mechanics or the programming? Well, for me, probably the programming, but at the same time, see, what a lot of people don't know is that I'm dyslexic, so I see a lot of things backwards, right? So it takes a very long time for me to even really put certain wires with things because I need to make sure that I do not see things backwards. Hey, Jim, welcome, man. Hey, how you doing, man? And Jim says, as a programmer in the past, it's always programming. One little comma or something out of place, and you're stuck. See, I have not got to that part yet. So, that explains a lot right there. So Jim tells, thank you, Jim, for that because people need to understand that when you're programming something, that's all it takes. You kind of know what to look for, but at the same time, hey, you're stuck. You may not be. So for somebody like me, I think maybe when I get to the programming part, it probably would take me a lot longer than it would take, let's say like the way Jim does, I mean, Jim, how long does it usually take you to program something, Jim? Roughly what, maybe 30, 30 minutes, less, 10, 15? Not sure. Not sure what the time constraints are for programming. Electronics can only be one way, so just go back through the schematics. See, yeah, and it in the schematics for me, I probably go over. Oh, it depends, huh? Uh, See, for the schematics, like I said, because I'm dyslexic, it takes me a good while to make sure that I get everything straight in my head because I'll see the red line here and the red line down here, and then they both connect here, and then I'll see the black line under it. But the way my brain works is sometimes I'll see that black line that coincides with that red line. So I'm having to go back and look at that schematic probably hundreds of times before okay, it goes this way, much like you know I've spent 8 months on a project before. Oh damn, wow, really? Now is that kind of like maybe going at it like an hour a day, or maybe just 30 minutes a day or something, due to your busy schedule, or how what is the length of time in a day that you've actually had to do some of that programming before you just like, okay, I gotta stop at this point because this is just ridiculous. you know, um, autonomous flight. Autopilot, huh? Cheers, by the way, Jim. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, so and everybody's different. Everybody's different. So when you know, everybody's different in the way they learn things. Everybody's different in the way they make things, and everybody has different thought process, and everybody's creative thought process. You know, oh, I can't do more than 8 hours sitting in front of a screen. Yeah, I'm close to the same way. Yeah. Luckily, I don't even sit in front of a screen all day long. I'm basically right. my hands go crippled because I write all day long basically. So it's like, and sometimes I would, but I think 8 hours in a screen. My wife does that, man. She goes 8 hours a day. I don't see how she can do it, and she gets tired. So I'm sure her eyes get like bloodshot and stuff. But learning, uh, doing sabers and the schematics and stuff that for somebody like I said, like myself, but for those who have no problems looking at it, pick it up in a half second and just go to town with it. That's cool, man. Kudos to you guys, because um they pick it up and they could probably do 3 or 4 sabers in an hour or so, in they do in them sections. They'll do like a 15 to 20 speakers. Then they'll print out like 15 or 20 chassis, and then they got all these different parts ready for the chassis. And then they get boom, 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 one, a speaker in, 15 chassis speaker in already. And then the next part, 15 in, 15 in, and by the time you know it, they probably done like 15 hilts in what, probably 3 or 4 hours maybe. And so that's like amazing. And I think I hope to one day get to that point if I can. Now if I can't, hey, that's fine. I'm not in any hurry to get to that point, because I want to enjoy what I'm doing right now instead of having to worry about getting certain things out as fast as possible and stuff like that. I'm like that turtle, easy, slow going, but at the same time, I get to cross that finish line before the rabbit sometimes. Sometimes. Sometimes, because that rabbit pretty quick, if he's doesn't stop and take a nap, he's already at the finish line before I even get started. So cheers to them. Cheers to them. But yeah, yeah, no, the saber woes can be out there, and there's so many saber woes. So that's why I'm going to have multiple shows on saber woes. But I love to get the feedback from everybody in what kind of troubles they've had a lot of. Jim, and so you say that programming has been your biggest enemy in the saber woes part of things, right? And so um have you had any problems in terms of like your chassis breaking in your hilt, or let's say you've already finished a saber, and you're swinging the saber around, and something goes really wonky with it, and you're gonna have to take it apart and just kind of figure out what was going on with it. um that was my whole concept for tonight. Basically was like after you finished your build, and then your saber goes wonky after that. So that's kind of like uh yeah, kind of like R2 over here. He's already built and everything, and he's like, oh no, and then he just, what, he shuts up. No, no, you can't shut up, R2. R2 can't shut up. No, yeah, he does. He shut up. So that's like, R2 being all good, and then he's over here working fine, and all of a sudden he's not working, right? What happened? What's the deal? What is the deal? No, it's a whoa, it's a saber whoa. That's tonight's show, right? Yes, I have a broken saber for the last year, and I need to fix it. Okay. Now, what do you know what the basis for it being broken? Was it something internal? Was it external? Uh, what was what was the basis for it being broken? Or was it just like, well, like I said, internal or external? Um, Jim, that's what I want to know. See, that's what I want to know. Telling is sometimes I get the art directory not found and using this. Yeah, yeah. See, there you go. See, Titan. Yeah, man, the directory not found. That's what we're getting to the root of, guys. The biggest saber will right there. And that is after everything is done, correct? After you've gotten everything ready and everything's done and you're just like ready to go at it, right? She goes, Anthony was working through that a couple of weeks ago, and I can't get that deep either, right? That's my woe. TK. Yeah, no, you will, dude. No, you will, man. Yeah, that's your woe, bro. That's your woe. Hey, there you go, man. So Jim says broken wires. Okay, perfect. See, now we're really, yeah, internal. See, now we're getting to the root of this, guys, and that's what I'm looking for. Jim, thank you so much, man. See, and this is another thing that I want to do is enlighten people because and not not the veteran because the veterans know. I mean, they already know all this stuff, but I'm hoping that all the new people that see this and come on here and look at all this stuff that what to kind of expect sometimes because even though you may do everything perfect and you get that saber working, it sounds great, looks great, and you're swinging it around, but then just something goes wonky and you don't even know. So yeah, internal stuff internal stuff is a factor in saber woes because it takes you by surprise sometimes. And like a couple of weeks ago when Gabe was working on his saber and his chassis broke, he had a loose wire. I mean, it was a great show because I mean the only it was a great show because people could see the problems that come along with with doing your doing your custom saber that it it's glamorous and you're so in love with the art, the fact of making it and doing this and doing that. But for the people that are just starting out and they're not understanding certain aspects, it just comes with the territory that you're going to have loose wires, you're going to have this, you're going to have these kind of internal problems, you're going to have some external problems because um you know let's say you've got the recharge port and you may have uh the kill key that is either too big that you ordered, or let's say you ordered a kill key that was too small and it keeps slipping out, or you put it in so much and so hard and this it loosens up and it just won't stay in there. So your next saber woe is that you're going to have to take your saber apart and put a new um a new one in there, and you just can't. So it's unbelievable that you with everything that can go wrong, but there's a lot of things that can go right too. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You've got it just comes with the territory. There's a lot more good than there is bad, but you got to look for the small stuff to make sure that everything goes right. Been fortunate and not done a profi from scratch build yet, but I want to so bad. Oh yeah, Jim. Man, I think when you get it done, it'll be amazing, though. I bet you when you get it done, it'll be amazing. It will. It'll be amazing, dude. I mean, you got some badass skills, man. You got some badass mad skills, bro. So ain't no doubt in my mind you'll have it. You'll have it like off the charts, off the charts, bro. And but so yeah, and Jim, again, like I said, man, I can't thank you because see this is what I want to reiterate to people in terms of saber woes because a lot of the veterans have already gone through all this, but for all the people that for all the new people that are gonna watch this and are watching it now, so for all those who've been watching me, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And who enjoy the Civilized Sabers channel. Thank you guys so much, and all you guys that have come on tonight to be with me here, thank you guys so much. Right now I'm not getting off yet, don't worry about that, guys. No, Hadn't even been an hour yet, man. So we're still good. We got time. We got time. That's if you want to stay on. If you got to go, it's understood because it's kind of late. So for me here, it's just barely kind of like 10 p.m. my time. So however late it is for you guys, I'm not sure, but it's all good, man. Uh, so if you want to go and you want to stay, it's all good, man. It's on my list. Oh, thanks, man. Oh, Jim, no, you're more than welcome, dude, man. I mean, that's another thing. That's another thing that I think is a saber role. I mean, everybody should be building everybody up and not tearing anybody down. Again, everybody's got different ways of doing things, and you know, and whether it's creative or not so creative, or it doesn't matter. We should all be building each other up and having people you know learn from each other, and that's it's a labor of love, man. See, Jim Smith said, I learned in middle school, never worry about quantity, but focus on quality, and everything takes time, effort, and practice. Absolutely, absolutely. And if Jim, if that wasn't so true, I don't think that we would have the kind of the type of hilts that we have now, the creativity that people have right now, making all these different hilts, the different designs of hilts. Yeah. See, Titan Cell, I'm working and watching you. Well, awesome, Titan, dude, you're awesome, man. Um, if and that's the thing. That's see, I love that, guys. I love that because everybody can learn from everybody, and it don't matter whether you're novice or um, you're a veteran. Because I've seen some of the veterans asking other veterans, man, for help on certain things that they get stuck on, and that's all right. And then you got, well, I mean, you have some, there's a few lazy people who don't want to do a little something and rather go and try to get it done for them, but you know try to find out things first before you actually go to somebody and figure it out, because when you actually figure it out for yourself, sometimes it's the best thing in the world. And I think Anthony, because Anthony, I learned a lot from Anthony, but I learned a lot from watching Rob Petcow, Mad Cow, on the custom saber shop stuff, the videos. I've learned a lot, especially from Meg Tooth Sith, his videos, Tom, and I think a huge saber woe would be not utilizing any of these videos, not utilizing anybody's knowledge of how to do certain things within your saber, and not utilizing any of the forms, or not, and especially because the forms are free, the advice is free. Look it up. I mean, there is so much content, there is so much information that you can find the answer to what you're looking for, if you look for it. But I think, as like I said, a saber rule for some people, I believe, is that they don't want to look for some of that stuff, and it's like, oh, well, you can do it for me. You can do it for me. You can do it for me. I mean, try it out first. I mean, you never know what you're capable of if you don't try. You don't know what you're capable of. Again, like I said, for me, I wanted to make the memory saver for my friend, but at the same time, I wanted to learn how to do this myself, because there is no greater satisfaction in doing these hilts than doing it yourself. Am I wrong, Jim? I mean, do you get great satisfaction when you complete a hilt? Um, I know I was immensely proud of myself. At the same time, I mean, I had such elation when I finished it and got to show it off to people and so forth. And I'm all like, wow, I actually did it, you know. I actually did it, and I think you know, a saber would be don't you know you attempt it, but you don't finish it. You don't go all the way through. You know. Now I can understand if you get to a point where you can't because something physically or even health wise goes and you can't, and that's understandable. But I mean at the same time that somebody like I might be down to years, I might not be able to even hold the wires together and solder them. I might have to have somebody do the soldering for me and teach somebody to do soldering for me so I can tell them how to do it for me. But arthritis in the hands. But hey, but as long as you can do it, try it, and yeah. See, since he says it's super satisfying, right? It is. It is unbelievably satisfying. And when you pull that kill key or you push that button and you hear those sounds for the first time, dude, there is nothing in this world like it. And I think that to not experience that, if you're experiencing it on the TV and you're not experiencing it in your hand, there is a big saber woe right there. A big saber woe because there's a big difference between hearing it on the TV and hearing it in your hand. That, my friends, is what you should be looking for is that sound right next to your ear when you pull that kill key. Man, that is the greatest feeling in the world. Let's see. Felicia says, I found out in the middle school that I suck at CAD software. Felicia, I have even no clue how to use CAD right now. I mean, I haven't even started looking at CAD. I've been asking questions about, specific programs. And eventually I'll get to learn one or two of these programs. Eventually, because eventually I'd love to 3D print my own chassis. I have so many ideas for chassis right now, but it's like, oh, geez, I don't even know where to begin I mean, I can't even draw to show people what's on my brain for chassis. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I think that sometimes, you know, okay, I I think that is another saber woe in itself. You have such all these ideas in your head what you want to do as far as hilt wise or maybe chassis wise, and you also and also um you know body wise and types, the sabers like um you have some of these makers that make their own bodies hilts and stuff like that. And it's like they get to they know exactly they know their game plan. They know exactly what it's going to look like. They already know what measurements are. They already know this. They already have all the equipment and they go to town, right? But for somebody that doesn't have all of that stuff, but they've got all these damn ideas in their head, and all they can do is just kind of write them down, what they think they might want, and then the idea just fleets away, right? It fleets away, so you lose some of those ideas, and I think that's a kind of a saber woe right there. You losing ideas that you can't actually put on paper or anywhere else, and or you get distracted and you lose that process, and it's like uh feel the damn keyboard. Right, Jim's gonna be like, he'll grab that keyboard, bap, 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 damn it. Oh, it's so fun. It's fun though. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing though. And in the camaraderie that you have there is a lot of great camaraderie in this community. A lot of people feel it, a lot of people enjoy it. Yeah, you have your dynasty moments, right? Everyone, Anthony not having the TriStar stuck in a Saber. Wow, yes, right? Yes. That is a big Saber woe. Oh, dude, Jim, that's funny, man. Anthony's gonna love that, dude. Anthony's gonna love that. Oh, Jim says no. My cell phone keyboard does do well with YouTube chat. Oh, okay. Well, see, I think that's what I need to do is I need to get a keyboard for my phone, right? Actually, I need to get something where I can do. Uh, I need to get something for my phone that I can get to do like all the stuff that Anthony does, when he's on. Because I'm on my phone and I don't get to utilize like all the different banners and stuff that Anthony does. But once I get my laptop, situated the way I need to, I can probably start doing it on the laptop. And I think, and then I'll have a lot of access to all that stuff, and I'll be able to do the intros like Anthony does. I'll be able to do all of that stuff, but I just haven't had the time. And I've got actually, um, I've got some earbuds that I need to try to link up where I don't have to have corded, so I can kind of walk around, take you guys around with me and everything like that. So maybe it'd be a little bit more fun where I can move around. Y'all can see me moving around. I can pick things up and I can, zoom in on things. And that'll be, really cool. But, in the near future, like I said, my next, it won't be my next show, but a couple of shows maybe down the road. I want to bring Benji and Jeremy and Albert on all together and talk about their chassis, or their chassis making and a lot of their, their processes for how they go about doing certain things for, chassis making and stuff. 3D printing is, that type of well, I'm sure that, yeah, I mean, they've given all that information already, but I think it'll be a good time for everybody to see, see that show. And I know I'll have a great time, like getting them on and stuff. And it'd be so much fun. So, um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So Felicia goes, laugh out loud. That's funny. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Get to them. Out of stock. No. It'll be like that. So yeah, it'll be like no. Or you can hear like Chewbacca's roar, right? Like roar. Yeah. I can hear Chewbacca screaming right now. If Anthony ever gets out of stock of any of his blades, like completely, right? Everybody be screaming like Chewbacca. That would be hilarious. But I don't think Anthony will kind of sell out that quickly. He might just have to hire more people. Eventually, though, eventually I want to learn how to do a TriStar. I think I'm going to do a dual star or, you know, do another blade myself. I've got one blade under my belt. I think I need to work on another one. And I think my blade that I did myself is kind of a little awkward right now. It's what I do? I guess I put it. I guess I put it up because it's kind of acting silly, but you know. Um, so let's see here. TK says, feel urge so damn bad to get it, yet all the challenges and BS come up one time. It'll just, yeah. There is TK. Yeah, that's the big woe right. That's another big woe right there, man. Is the challenges to get a saber completed or even to get a saber, man. Challenges. So when you have to, like me, I have to save up to get a hilt, man. I I have to save up for even just pieces of hilts. So I mean, I feel you, man. That's a big saber will right there. Jim Smith, not completely sableizesabers.com fault though. So let's not blame anyone. It was a bad joke. Jim, everybody knows it was a joke. He's never gonna run out of blades, dude. He's going 24/7 on those bad boys. No, but it takes him a good amount of time, but the quality that he has is unbelievable, right? I mean, look at the Carly King stuff, man. I mean, how she got those blades and then she really showed the hell out of them, which was exceptionally awesome. I mean, pitch black and it lit up that whole area. So it's like, wow. And I mean, I'm gonna be playing with when I get one, or even when I make one, I guarantee you, I'll be turning off the light here in the garage, man. I'll be playing with it. I might do a show with just the Saber on itself. I've got a 26 650 on here. I think it may just if I keep it on a solid color, man. I think I can do almost a whole show with the Saber on, just from the blade itself. Now that would be interesting show, wouldn't it, guys? A whole show with a saber light, right? From a TriStar or even a Pentastar, right? Well, Pentastar might be even half a show, maybe a 30-minute show, because I don't know. Who knows how long? I would have to see how long the that battery would last with a Pentastar. I mean, jeez. I gotta head out and have a great night. Oh, hey, Cincy, have a good one, man. Thanks for coming by, dude. Yeah, guys. Before you go, Cincy, I'm gonna turn this on for you. So here we go, guys. This is the peace, man. So this is the Thundar hilt, the Thundar sound font by Juan Sith. Now let me see if I can find Celtic Jedi. Now Celtic Jedi by Jedi FX. There we go. So so let's just put a blade in real quick, just real quick. Woo! Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is bright, guys. That is bright. Man. I'll tighten it up. See, and you can't hear it because like it's low, but I got very little room right here, so let's see. All right, guys. So there we go. That's what I got for y'all tonight. Those I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight, man. Thanks a lot, Cindy, Titan, everybody, Felicia, Rudy, all you guys that came on tonight to be with me tonight. I very much appreciate it. And for Civilized Sabers, Anthony, Gibb, Harris, I thank you guys so much. Jim says, Pentastar with a 30 amp 21700 lasts about 96 minutes, buddy. 96 minutes. Dang. So there you go. There you go. I could possibly do a whole show and with a Pentastar. There we go, guys. We just got the answer right there, right? Right? So eventually, if I get a Pentastar, then I'll have to do a show with the Pentastar light and see how that goes. That I think that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool, man. So yeah, guys, Titan, everybody, thank you so much. Much love to you guys. Come back for the next show. If you like my content, like and subscribe. But no worries if you don't. It's all good, man. I'm doing this all fun, man. All for fun, all for hanging out, and that's for me. That is what it's about: is having fun and hanging out with you guys. That brings joy to my heart more than anything. So you guys have a great night, and let's see here. I hope you all have a great week coming out, and Mundo gonna be out. Peace, guys. Peace. Have a great night.
In here, we pour whiskey.